Don't touch the ball, it's over, call it close, but we all know what this is gonna be. You came and failed the test, you met the best, expected chess, but got monopoly. I came and bought you out, I knocked you out, I cropped you out with no apologies. I am the hope, the heart, the faith, the spark, the one who will fulfill the prophecy. I just been counting, never lounging, climbing up mountains, bouncing back. Step in the ring, about you step back. They'll learn hot when I get on the track. I like it louder than most. Watching all these shit just buy down to the goat. If I can't decide, I'ma probably get both. We done celebrate, but right now I'm a toast. Resurrected ghost. Outside, outside, looking at the stars, staring with my mouth wide. I ain't letting nobody stop me this time. With every single level that I reach and I climb, they ask, are you from outside, outside? Everything around me I create with my mind. Working too hard, I don't want no downtime. Put my team on, they gon' shout when I shoot.
Ooh, boys.
We can take this outside, outside. Hey. Looking at the stars, staring
It
with
is
my mouth
unbelievably
wide.
windy outside. They're calling for a windstorm. I don't even know what a windstorm is, but there's one in the forecast. So we're gonna protect ourselves from all that garbage right here in the cab of the SVL90 and continue our site preparation for the new pole building. Look at that wind.
Oh, look at that.
There's a tree that actually literally just fell down in my backyard purely from the gust, which is pretty crazy. I guess only the strongest will survive today. So we've got my neighbor out today who was nice enough to help us out with this project. He ended up grabbing a pretty nice newer 318 Caterpillar. He has made his way from the front of the property down to the back of the property here. As you can see there, he's cruising around, pulling all the stumps out as phase 1. And phase 2 today is going to find a location for all the rocks that we have on the property. The pole building construction is going to begin somewhere right back here on the back of the skid steer. It's going to go over kind of towards the back of that stump right there. And it's actually going to cut across this way rather than come up this way because of some of the laser grading that we did. We found that we needed considerably less fill if we went that way with the building versus that way with the building, because there's a 3.5 foot grade change from this part of the property to this part of the property because I kind of have a mountainous type terrain here on the land. So we're going to get into all that a little bit later. I'll explain that once we get some work done here, but we've got a few hours of time to chip this away. Goal number 1, removing all the stumps, is nearly complete, and then goal number 2 will actually be to identify 1 or 2 locations that we can actually dig big holes. I'm talking real large holes with the larger bucket sitting right there to accumulate some fill that we're gonna need. We're looking at estimated 35 trucks to get the building to a grade. And the hidden agenda with digging those holes, we can kind of recycle that fill, is actually to try and hide some of these rocks underground, put them back to where they came from, because genuinely I've accumulated enough that I don't want any more in my bank. So with that being said, guys, we're gonna get right to work. We're gonna run with the forks for a little while to help move with some of the rocks. I actually might throw the grapple bucket on for the time being, but I'm gonna throw back with the forks. It looks like he got that massive tree stump out already. Holy crap, dude, he is moving quick. All right, boys, we gotta get to work.
Yeah. Hey. It's the siege.
This was that massive oak tree that we had to take down, unfortunately, because it died, but now we've cleared up a whole bunch of space, and this might be one of the 2 locations that we actually end up digging out to accumulate some fill dirt and also later rest some rocks.
Once again, here we go. Know the name, know the flow. Turn me up a little more. I'm setting traps, I'm alone. You know you whack, I'm a maniac. Boy, you know I'm black to the bone. Pick a place, pick a date. I go cool, pick a low. Thought you was good, huh? Take you out back, Drake through the woods, huh? Thought I was weak, huh? You ain't see the work I put in all week, huh? Give me that, where the city at? Nitty gritty, this ain't gonna be pretty, Jack. Not afraid, get up out the way. Y'all used to hate, look at what you made. When it all goes down, I'ma run this town. Fire in my soul, got my eyes on the ground. I can't help myself lately, can't turn myself down. I'm in love with you, baby, but I let you down. I can't die in this town, I won't die in this town. Don't die in this town.
Thirsty today.
I can still hear the hater critics saying he ain't gonna make it. Lately I developed laser vision. Yeah, I burnt the people in their cruel intentions. Crazy, you tryna play me? Boy, you wouldn't even make the scrimmage. Get your
All right. My God, almost forgot to put the gas cap on. Unfortunately, you put the key in these Kubotas into the gas cap. So that way you can't make stupid mistakes like I almost just made.
All I really do is eat spinach, count money up and hang with pretty women. I was driven, yeah, had the vision, then Goon came along and motivated me. Haters living cause we really living. I'm a freight train, you a Honda Civic. Hold up, wait, let me get specific. If you pick a mission,
there it goes. Just the whole weight of the machine for that. Oh, dude, there's a massive rock under it. That's why. What else is new?
When it all goes down, I'm gonna run this town. I am my soul, got my eyes on the ground. I can't help myself lately, can't turn myself down. I'm in love with you, baby, but I let you down. I can't die in this town, I won't die in this town.
Okay, we're about to go through the grapple bucket on this thing, and our plan here is to start digging a hole. So we've got a little area cleared here where we are actually going to stockpile the fill. The hole is going to go right over there, and the plan with the hole is to bury as many of these suckers as we possibly can, just to get them out of sight, out of mind, and put them back in their grave where they originally wanted to be. Big rocks like this one and like that one are also in our crosshairs. This 318E is an absolute animal, man. One thing that I just always am fascinated by is the pure power and the muscular ability of hydraulics. It is absolutely fascinating that you can move a little bit of joysticks around and move massive piles of dirt, rock, stumps, wood, etc. No problem. So we're literally about to dig a massive ass hole. Always keep a pair of gloves in here, just for this reason. All right, we are connected. Lines are out of the way. Everything's tight. We are ready to rock and roll. That is a hole. Wow. And the good news is it doesn't look like, I'm knocking on wood, if you know, you know, it doesn't look like we're hitting too much rock. That is really, really good news. What that tells me is, knock on wood, when we go to dig our footers, once we get past the surface rock, we shouldn't run into too many issues. And I guess the benefit of having all of this rock in my property, now that I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, is we're actually gonna get some fill dirt out of it. We need fill to actually increase the elevation of our grade quite a bit. Sorry about the wind. So as much as these rocks have seemed like a nuisance as I've been kind of improving the state of my property, I think that they're actually coming in somewhat clutch. Siri, what's the digging depth of a 318 Caterpillar excavator? Okay, Siri, you suck. Maximum digging depth, 20 foot. Woo! Dang, that's way deeper than the deep end, my friends. Dude, I can see him loud and clear. Yo, what's up, dude? Heck yeah, that's amazing. Yo, dude, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the support, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I've been following you and DURTYMAX Rhino for a minute.
Yo, check it out. I literally actually just ordered something from Rhino literally the other day.
I already know. I'm on your story like that.
Dude, that is amazing, man. Adam popped out and he's like, look closely at that dude's shirt. And I'm like, no way. Like, that is the coolest thing, dude.
Oh, dude, this is awesome.
Dude, it's awesome that you're wearing our shirt. I can't say thank you enough.
Means the world, man.
Yeah, man. I'm going to order some more of these because I wear high vis since I'm doing all the construction, but
You gotta get more
I
high
felt
vis.
weird about ordering more than one to have, you know, repeat shirts. So I was like, I told your boy here, I'm like, he's got to make more high vis stuff.
Well, just because we saw you out wearing it in the field today, we're actually going to work on an entire high-vis line because we know we got a lot of people that are out building America every single day, dude. So we're definitely about to just expand upon that whole collection. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, man. Literally, it's people like you that make my dreams every day possible. And I'm just so grateful for your support, bro. It means the world.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're on to day number 3 where we are continuing the cleaning process. We've got our hole filled with rock. Some of our fill dirt that I compacted down. As you can see, we've got a whole bunch of rock in here. Man, that's some really nice fill. It compacts down nicely. All the rocks are going back to where they came, at least for the first hole. Now we are working on grubbing all of the littler rocks. We're gonna pile them here and I'm gonna use the skid steer to move them over into the grave. We're gonna use some of this fill to backfill it, use the weight of that machine. It's pretty heavy. Oh, there's a big rock right there. I think that thing weighs like roughly 40,000 pounds, if I'm not mistaken, to kind of somewhat pack this and tamp this down. Then we're gonna do another hole right there to accumulate more fill for the building and to get rid of more rocks. And then if we need to, we're gonna do a third hole down yonder. It was a really good morning, guys. I actually ended up having my first successful harvest of a beautiful tom turkey, man. Absolute stud, mature, 10-inch beard. I cannot believe it. It is just such a satisfying feeling to know that I finally got my first turkey ever right here on my property. For those diehard bow enthusiasts, it was not through archery. It was with a shotgun as I wanted to increase my odds. But next time around, it's gonna be with the bow. This is so freaking exciting, guys. You have no idea. Like, I am stoked right now.
The next day.
Ooh, boys, this was a good video, man. We made a lot of progress. Oh, wow. This is just so surreal. The whole property has changed night and day since we moved in. I wasn't even able to walk where I'm standing right now when we first moved over here. This was all woods, and it was just overgrowth and disgusting, a habitat for every creature possible, including all the ticks that my dogs bring inside. And now we actually have visibility, we have a viewpoint, and we have a building staked out. It's pretty incredible. I got to give a huge shout out to Kurt for all the help in bringing home that 318, man. That machine is just an animal. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Hydraulics fascinate the ever-living crap out of me. It's just insane what pressure in a cylinder can do, and as those cylinders get bigger, you can literally move earth with the flick of your finger. That cat, I believe, is like a 42 or 3,000 pound machine, and it definitely showed its brute and capability out here on the homestead. We got every single rock ripped up in this whole area here. Stay tuned to the end of the video. We'll talk about that real soon. We've got all this fill dirt that actually came out of the 4 total holes that we dug to bury the rock. We no longer have our big rock sitting up here. The skid steer absolutely crushed it. It's definitely in need of a good greasing here soon. So we actually have 4 holes that we ended up digging. We've got one right there, which is about full of rock. Show you guys that. We've got it just about full. I was working on taking some other miscellaneous stuff and throwing it in. We've got another one that was right there that's already full that we're gonna be backfilling. And then we've got this one up here. Check this one out. Those are what we call rock graves, my friends. So those are the last remaining rocks. We've got some real big ones down here. That one especially is colossal. And we had another one that we actually dug here. You can see the grade is still super uneven, so I'm gonna have to do some backfilling. But we're gonna leave this hole right here exposed, as that's actually gonna become our burn pit to try and get rid of all this stuff here behind us. We've burned a good amount on this surface, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but in my opinion, it's not all that desirable, because if you start to get wind as an introduction to your fire, you can lose control of the fire pretty quickly, whereas you have a lower chance of losing control of your burn if it's actually on a subgrade, just out of the way of the wind and everything like that. Plus you can diminish the fire with dirt very, very quickly, versus when it's up on the ground, it's a little bit harder. So that brings us to this massive pile of fill dirt. I am gonna set some of this aside because I do expect some settlement to occur over time, but fortunately I do have access to fill dirt like always, so I'm not all that worried about this settlement that's going to occur. I know you guys are probably firing off in the comments already saying, Jack, it's not gonna look like that in a few weeks. Well, I know, I realize that, but this is 100% the best way that we could have gotten rid of all the rocks that we have up here on the property. They're pretty much all gone. It's so awesome, I love it. It's like the first time moving up here that I'm actually saying that I love the rocks, because they did a double benefit for me. We got rid of them, and in exchange, we got all this fill dirt, which is 100% necessary in getting our building out to grade. So boys, this is a really exciting moment. Right now, I'm standing next to what is the front left side of the 60 by 80 pole building. We actually went out yesterday. I had taken a few minutes to actually do a quick little rope line on a rough-in of where the building's going to go. It's not really its final location, but it's a good idea as to where it's going to be. If we need to make some minor adjustments, we will. But this is essentially where it's going to rest. Of course, I ran out of string. Why my line looks all so slack over there. But it gives you a good idea. Check this out. This is going to be our front right corner, front left corner, back left corner, and then back right corner. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw that I was putting up some stories the other day. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm gonna put it right here on the screen, as well as the brand's Instagram. You guys should go check them out so you don't miss out on anything over there. But this is the first time that I'm actually seeing what represents the building's scale and size in person on land. That's not on some sort of an illustration online from an aerial perspective, and it's super exciting. It's very surreal right now. I guess I'm just sitting here looking at the property and understanding how much we've put into the property to get it to where it is today, yet we are actually only just kind of halfway through the process. We still need to get in here. We actually have to take all of our fill dirt and get this area to grade before we actually compact everything down. Then we have to compact everything down to make sure it's nice and solid. Then we start digging our footers, and then we build up from there. So we actually somewhat pivoted on the initial orientation of the building. To my OGs, you guys can recall, I was originally doing that corner in the same location, but the orientation was actually rotated about 30 degrees. I wanted to actually put the corner of the building kind of up here at first, so it kind of went across. But there was one primary reason specifically that I didn't do that, and then I've discovered a second good reason as to why it just didn't make sense. The first reason was the amount of fill dirt required to get this elevation to grade back there, and what it would do for the back grade of the building. We've got about a 3-foot elevation change from right here, it's at about 508 foot, to back there, roughly where the skid steer is, which is about 505 foot. If you do the math on the area of fill that you would need, it would come out to, there's about 75 to 80 truckloads, and that did not account for any of the landscaping grading that we would do to dress up the sides of the buildings to slope them out. And that's just a ton of dirt. What we were able to do was, by orienting the building about 30 degrees to where it is now, we actually cut down our fill requirements almost in half. We only go about 1.5 foot change of elevation right here to right there, which is way better. And what's good is now we actually have a considerable amount of fill that might actually get us to where we need to be. I'm thinking we're gonna need a little bit more, especially in this instance, because the more the merrier. You can always dress up more dirt than you can not have enough. And the primary reason number 2 is the overall curb appeal of the look of the building. Now it'll actually sit flat with the front of the house, so it'll be a nice straight line, whereas if it was angled up, it would actually be somewhat of a lopsided appearance from the outside looking in. Now I think it's actually going to look really nice, because the building is going to match the same orientation as the house, and we're actually going to coordinate the colors of the building with the house, so that way it's all nice and symmetrical and they look like they belong together. So it's crazy, guys. We're close, but we are not there yet. I'm legitimately jumping up and down inside right now because it just feels like we're making progress, and that is something that I've just been yearning for over the last few months, that we've been trying to get everything approved. Like I say, it's kind of crazy to me as a first-time building experience that I have my property and I want to build a building with my resources, but I need somebody else's approval to do it. But it is what it is. It's the way of the world, and anybody in construction knows that sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. You got to do it right, and then you can see your reality transform right before your eyes. So that's where we're gonna wrap up this video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you as always for watching. If you haven't already grabbed your entries for Lucifer and $30,000 cash, you might want to do so. This giveaway literally ends on May 6th. That subscribe button, like button, and notification bell if you haven't already, and I'll see y'all in the next upload.